We've been talking about marketing and how that's the larger term that includes advertising, publicity, and probably things like branding and communications as well. But today, I want to talk about publicity and PR. If you like today's content, please take a moment to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It really does help my channel a lot if you do. And, you'll make my day, which ought to count for something. Hi, I'm John, and this is Bogdan. Join us on our journey as we figure out how to earn a living as artists, introduce you to those we meet, and share what we learn along the way. We've discussed before that some people distinguish between advertising and publicity by saying that advertising you pay for and publicity is free. Well, I'm not certain that that's always true, but it does seem to me that advertising looks inward while publicity looks out. I can plan and coordinate my advertising campaigns tightly, but it seems to me that publicity is just blind luck. You throw your marketing out into the wind and hope that something good comes of it. But that can't be true, can it? The issue is that I view publicity as problematic because it relies on someone else to get my message across, and that bugs me. But it's probably a fault in the depth of my understanding of what publicity really is. While there's a variety of forms of publicists, today we're only going to look and focus our attention on those working with creative businesses, and that sort of publicity usually means tapping into the print and broadcast as well as social media platforms. So we're not talking about the publicist who gets called in the middle of the night to handle a PR scandal or to smooth things over when a hooker overdoses in your hotel room. That may well be part of a Hollywood or Washington publicist's routine, but it's hopefully not something we're going to need at this stage in our creative careers. Come to think of it, probably not good at any stage of our careers. We're talking about deliberate, strategic, and purposeful media relations campaigns that engage with journalists to draw attention to our marketing goals, to ourselves, and to our creative businesses. So for our discussion, publicity means taking advantage of those press opportunities all around us. So there you are. Add that to the many jobs you're already doing as a creative entrepreneur. You're now a publicist too. So what exactly does a publicist do? Well, anybody ever watch AbFab? Remember when Saffi asked her mother what she actually does for a living? And Eddie replied indignantly, PR. I PR things. I found a link to that scene in YouTube, and I'll include it down below. In case that doesn't help clarify the question, your role as a publicist means that you'll need to draw media attention to yourself and to your business. Yes, I said it, to yourself as well. See, the trick is that all publicity is storytelling, and you'll need to be able to tell your story in such a way as to interest the audience that reporter or influencer is trying to reach. That means developing a relationship with journalists, editors, and bloggers, and offering them content that makes their job easier. You have to give them the story that they need. And the problem with storytelling as a creative is that we like to think that our stories are about how fabulous our art is. And though our creative work may be amazing, it doesn't mean that the editor needs that story. They say a story needs legs. It has to stand on its own, and it has to be able to last a long time. That may mean that you need to tell your story in a variety of ways, stressing different aspects depending upon the publication and the audience. So a story about an art exhibition may sound interesting to you, but you might need to rewrite it about a single mom having her first solo exhibition, or an immigrant who's had to fight his way to freedom to present his first solo exhibition. And that means that you'll have to do your homework beforehand. You need to know the audience, and the kinds of stories that that reporter tells. Why not just hire a publicist like I do my accountant? Even if I had that kind of money, it's more a question of scope. If I'm an author, I stand to sell millions of copies of a best-selling novel or memoir. If I'm a musician, I can fill a concert venue with hundreds to thousands of fans and take my show on the road across the globe. But as a visual artist, what's the most I can hope for? Even if I'm wildly popular and successful, how many people does a painter draw to an opening? I do know one celebrity painter who has a publicist, and it's amazing what she's able to do for his career. But for most visual artists, it just doesn't make sense to hire a publicist. From the artist's perspective, as well as from that of the publicist, the numbers just aren't large enough. But regardless, you still need publicity. So, my friend, like so many other things in your creative business, this one's on you. That means we need to create a strategy. How do we go about getting press coverage for me and my business? One of the first steps is to create a press kit or an electronic press kit. If you're a musician or an actor, you've probably already done this. We need to create a collection of documents that someone in the press can get to and find all of the information they need to proceed with their story. A press kit will contain a professional photo, how to contact you, a biography, a resume, social media handles, your website, any branding or logos that you use, some sample artwork, your artist statement, a history of your other publications, of your exhibitions, any awards you've won, your current shows, you got to keep that up to date, and any previous press that you've received. The idea here is to give the reporter or publisher everything they need to make their job easier and make it simpler to write a story about you. I have to do this as well, so I'm not just being preachy here. There may be times when we need to have this packet of information printed up to hand to someone who's interested, but more often this collection of information is available on your website. I think the trick is to have it all together so that the reporter doesn't have to move all over the website to find my resume tab, and then my gallery tab, and then my about me tab for my biography. Make it easy to get to and put everything together, even if that means repeating some of that content under the press tab on the menu. Do some research to find journalists and publications or social media influencers. Find people to contact. Find out what they write about. Follow them on social media and read some of their work. Make it easy for them to write about you, or better still, write the piece for them. There are also some paid services that will distribute your press releases to journalists, but you're going to have to determine whether or not they're worth the expense. One is prweb.com, but there are others. PR Newswire, EIN, Presswire, Proudy, Presley, and Muckrack. Be aware, though, that these tools are often priced for professionals who are working with large corporate clients. They're phenomenal resources, but they don't come cheap. The best way to reach journalists is still to develop relationships and give them the stories that write themselves. So get out there, and I'll be looking for you on the newswires. It's been a crazy week for us. We've just began a group show here at Silver Street Studios here in Houston, and I sold a painting on the first day. Hooray! We also attended a reception for Adam Land, who's holding a solo show in the smaller gallery space at Silver Street. Adam does such a good job. I'll put a link to his website down below as well. You should go check him out. Then I got word that our residency program in Mexico City is including one of my paintings in a group show on artsy.net. That's a big deal. The show starts today, and I'll put that link in the description as well. Then we found out that the gallery associated with the residency program is included as one of the official galleries for Sonamaco, which is the big art fair in Mexico City, apparently one of the largest in Latin America. Anyway, the gallery is on the official map of cooperating sites, and there would be buses of VIPs stopping by to see the physical show there. Now, I'm only in the online show, but I have a stack of postcards there to be picked up by visitors. And then I found out that I've been included in a new show in Berlin. More about that as it develops. It's been a crazy week, and that's the way I like it. Well, I hope your week is going well. Stay creative, and I'll see you next week. Bye.